Hi everybody, Suzanne Lyons here, and thank you once again for joining me. This time we are doing the 10-tip series on how do we deal with stress in the entertainment industry, or for that matter, any industry. We all have to deal with stress at some point in our lives, and nowadays probably pretty consistently in our lives. So we were very blessed and lucky to have Barbara Doust this past couple of tips. On tip number 2 and 3 she joined us, which was incredible. She was absolutely brilliant as she talked about visualizing and meditation and our self-esteem and I mean all kinds of incredible stuff, incredible tips she gave us on how to deal with stress, and I thought it was invaluable. So for those of you, if you missed it, for heaven's sakes, go back, because all these things are on the what's it called, Anthony, when you have the list that you can go back and see them?
Playlist.
No, is that what it's called? A playlist? Okay. See, I'm learning something new here. Anthony is, of course, behind the camera. Anthony Gomez, and many of you have met him before because he's been in front of the camera with me. So yeah, they're all archived. Nothing gets destroyed afterwards, so it's all great. You can go back and listen to them, because Barbara's was a lot of information. So I find you might want to go back and kind of watch them again. I find I just kind of watched hers a number of times. They were so good. Anyway, so let's get started with today. I would like to talk today about, actually what I titled today is called Watch Your Language. Isn't that cute? One of the things that I noticed when I was working with my stress expert back in the 80s. Remember, I was saying in tip number 1 that I went through a lot when I was kind of breaking through that glass ceiling and being one of the first female VPs in television many years ago. And one of the things that I used to do all the time without even being conscious of it is I used to use words like should and must. And he said, drop those words from my vocabulary. And I remember thinking, that's kind of silly. It's just words, right? But they actually have a physiological effect, and they cause stress. So instead of saying, I should have done that right, use a preference instead. It would have been nice if I'd done that correctly, and next time I will, because I've learned so much from the way I did that, or whatever. Use a preference instead of should and must. It will make a huge difference. You can actually, I was practicing it actually with Anthony before we went on camera, and I could feel the difference in my chest. Actually, is where it felt for me. The pressure I was putting on myself. I should have done this. I should have done that. And even Barbara caught me. Remember at the end of tip number 3 last week, Barbara meant when I was saying, I was joking, even though I was joking about saying, it's just me next time, because I wasn't going to be having a guest with me today. And she caught me and she said, Suzanne, even watch that language, because that, just by joking about it, by just me, it was actually kind of psychologically affecting my self-esteem in a way. Even though I was joking, it doesn't matter. It's still the language of it. And one of the other things, I was in a meeting a couple of weeks ago where we were going kind of great guns, and everything was creating great possibility for what we were going to be, exploring in this project. And then there was some negativity came into it, and you could see around the table, there was about 7 of us out of the meeting, and you could literally see as we were expressing negatively, how this might not work, you could actually see physiologically the change in people. I mean, literally people like their shoulders going down or whatever. It was fascinating to watch. Being aware of this kind of stuff now and more conscious of it, I could see it before my eyes. It was amazing. So do pay attention. Watch your language, as I've heard one of my coaches say one time, and stop shooting on yourself. I thought that was so cute. And really be careful of that. Shoulds and musts, take this seriously and try to change those words to preferences instead. And you'll see the difference in the impact that it has on you physiologically and psychologically. And definitely a stress reducer without a doubt. I promise. Anyways, next week I have, I also just wanted to show off a little bit too and do some shameless self-promotion. My book came out this winter and spring, and I know we're into the summer now, but for those of you who don't have it, it's at your bookstores, obviously, and on Amazon.com. It's called Indie Film Producing, The Craft of Low-Budget Filmmaking. So if you're new to these series, I just wanted to do a little bit of showing off about my book. All right, so next time, I have another treat for you. Carolyn Berry, I have the privilege of being a partner with her. She's the founder of MasterTalentTeachers.com. You've heard me mention that many times over these tips over the past year. We started last September, and every week we've got, oh my God, every 4 days, for heaven's sakes, there's new videos out. It's all free for performers around the world. Wonderful educational videos and articles and all kinds of great stuff. That you can take advantage of. MasterTalentTeachers.com. Carolyn is the founder. Next week, she's going to be joining me. She's also, for heaven's sakes, a commercial audition teacher and has been for 30 years, so I don't want to leave that out. She's really incredible and knows her craft well. And why I brought her in, or why I'm bringing her in, is because she's been 30 years doing that job and obviously has worked with, oh my gosh, what would that be? Thousands, I would guess, of actors over that time, and have seen firsthand what actors have gone through in terms of dealing with stress. And I think actors, probably more than anyone in the industry, have a lot of stress. So, and she's also voted #1 and Backstage West many times over those years. So she's going to be joining us for tips number 5 and tip number 6. And I'm thrilled about it. And I promise you, she's going to be a treat. You are going to have a treat. So that's it. Okay, everybody, have a great week, great weekend, and I'll see you all next Friday when I'll have Carolyn Berry with me. All right, that's it. Suzanne Lyons, signing off.